Alright, by request, I put out that poll, and for the break week, everybody wanted me to, well, everybody being, I got 1 vote for each and then 2 votes for this. So, we get to do Mega Man 4. And I'll talk a little bit more about it after we get past the intro. In the year 2020X, household robots rock and roll were created by master robot designer Dr. Light, and were enjoying their peaceful days. Then one day, the industrial robots all over the world went on a rampage around the world, and the world fell into total chaos. Dr. Light quickly realized that mad scientist Dr. Wily was behind the nefarious deed, but he didn't know what to do. Rock having. A strong sense of justice volunteered to be converted into a fighting robot. Thus, the super robot Mega Man was born. Mega Man shattered Dr. Wily's plans 3 times, and world peace has been maintained so far, but history repeats itself. Dr. Cossack, a mysterious scientist, has invented 8 powerful robots and sent them after Mega Man. Mega Man starts for the battle again. This time equipped with a new powerful new Mega Buster. So Mega Man 4 comes with a little recap, which I kind of like, because Mega Man 1 through 3 did not establish its story very well within the game itself. You kind of had to read the manual for it. So as I mentioned, this run is going to be something of a speed run done by an amateur. So we're going to actually go in optimal order. I have no idea whether or not this is the optimal order actual speedrunners do, but we're going to do it in the easiest order, or my favorite order, in my opinion. It's not necessarily in boss weakness order either. Toadman is, in my opinion, the best place to start because he is by far the easiest Mega Man or boss in the entire Mega Man series, and his level doesn't really have anything in it that any of the other powers would help you immensely with. Like these little birds that fly overhead and these guys here, they're like having one of the other weapons would be helpful, but it's not really necessary. Having Rush Jet might help you with this rain. It is pushing me back right now. But other than that, it's a pretty benign level compared to the others. And the boss is just extremely easy, which is really the hardest part of any stage. Which Mega Man is what, Denzo? So Mega Man 4 is often considered by the community as... Oh, this is Mega Man 4. I'm very, very sorry I didn't establish that at the beginning. It recaps the story from the beginning, though, so if you were to start with a Mega Man game, this is actually a very good place to start as well. Dr. Wily is not the boss in this game. Dr. Cossack is. And will always be Dr. Cossack for the entire game. So one of the big changes that they made in this game, besides carrying over the slide from Mega Man 3, is that now you can charge your Mega Buster. Bit of a controversy among Mega Man fans. Some people don't like it, say that it makes the boss weapons too irrelevant, and other people love it, think it's the best thing that's ever happened to Mega Man. I'm on the fence. In my opinion, it's often better to just not charge your shot just because you can rapid fire. Anything that doesn't have invincibility frames and mini bosses always come in twos in Mega Man. This one's a little bit different because you have the water, making it a little bit harder to dodge. Anyway, in a boss like this where you only have a small opening, the charge shot is clearly the best option. But on like little enemies, you can kind of layer your shots pretty fast anyway, so not really necessary. Best OST, like in the entire Mega Man series or in this game? I'm trying to think of which one I get stuck in my head the most. I think all the Mega Man games have... Oh gosh. Well, we're off to a great start on our speed run here. Good thing we're really close to the checkpoint. My favorite boss in this game, probably Pharaoh Man, which is funny because his level I find a little bland. We're talking about OSTs. The entire Mega Man series has a great OST. I think the final Wily stages... Oh, sorry, spoiler alert. The final stages in this game... have some of the best soundtracks in the entire Mega Man series, and they actually remixed the Mega Man 2 main theme of Mega Man in the ending. But for stage OSTs, I would say that the Wily stages are probably my favorite in this. For the Robot Masters, I think we'll have to go through these stages, and I'll make that judgment after we're done with this playthrough. Alright, now on to Toad Man, the biggest joke in the entire Mega Man canon. Oops, he actually got to move. So if you just wait till he raises his hands up and just fire, he doesn't get to do anything. So there's a rewind button on this emulator. I'm going to go ahead and, or on this emulator, this version of Mega Man. I'm going to let him do his attack just so you can see it. We're going to get him down to his last HP first. Even if you don't want to do it this way, you can kind of run towards him and then he'll hop over you. Oh, sorry. Let's go ahead and let him do his attack. That's what he does if you let him do it. It hits the entire screen. Now I have to figure out where to stop rewinding. It hits the entire screen, so if he manages to pull it off, you're going to get hit. I guess I had plenty of HP there. I could have just taken the hit. So yeah, that's why Toad Man's a great one to start with. Easiest boss in the entire Mega Man series. Alright, so we got Rain Flush, and you got Rush Marine Adapter, which has been dropped from the Mega Man series after this game because it's kind of redundant with Rush Jet. But there's another reason why I go to Toad Man first is because I like to go to Dive Man second. And Dive Man is the only stage in the entire game. I think there might be a small part in the Wily stages that you can use Rush Marine. But this is really the only place where you get to use Rush Marine, and being as this is the last time in the series that you get to see it, I kind of like to actually have it for this part, so I like to go to Toad Man first and then come here. Yeah, I agree. It's kind of boring when you have to kind of drill through a ton of HP with no tension. There are a few bosses, and there's actually one of my least favorite bosses in the entire Mega Man series is coming up in one of the Wily stages. And we'll talk about that when we get there. So why are we playing Mega Man when we're the Metroidvania review? Well, because I was asked to, but also I feel like if you're going to be a designer for a 2D platforming game, one of the best places to start in studying game design is to start with the Mega Man series. There are a few reasons for that. One, because it really established a lot of the tropes that just work. Oh, that's good, thanks. As far as tutorializing challenges, and this is our good friend. Wow, he's being really generous. That's Flip Top, and he never gives you intakes, so we're being very lucky on this run. So this is an example of where just rapid firing is better than charging. Yeah, I guess so. That's very generous of him. I wish that some of the enemies in Environmental Station Alpha knew that I was streaming. I don't feel like that game has a lot of RNG. But yes, if you're trying to study game design for 2D platformers, which some people would argue that is the only genre that belongs to the Metroidvania sphere, Mega Man is a great place to start, to get ideas, to learn about how to do things, and sometimes how to not do things. The fan community is actually really, really active making fan games for Mega Man, so you can see a lot of the bad as well. And Mega Man is a Metroidvania because you have little secrets like this one that I just kind of slipped into without introducing. And you get a power-up, and this power-up will help you get things later on in the game. So obviously it's a Metroidvania. No, Mega Man is not a Metroidvania. Most people would agree. But in general, game design for 2D platformers, it's a good study. And there are a few developers that I played the game and it wasn't great. And one developer, I actually wrote him a long letter in my review that said, hey, just like go study game design a little bit before before making your next game. I think you have talent, but one of my best recommendations is to play is to study Mega Man. And there's as I was mentioning about the fan community, there's a huge project called the I'm really not doing well right now, called the Make a Good Mega Man level, and there are a ton of bad examples in that, as well as some really creative good ones. And kind of listening to how people have reacted to, because the community and the judges all judged which one was the best, listening to what they had to say about it will teach you a lot about I can't remember how to get these things to trigger. I guess you just have to hit them when you're close. They have a lot of opinions on what is good and what is bad. Is there? There's one that takes a lot of inspiration from Mega Man. I actually think he took Mega Man's sprite and just updated it for his main character. It's called Legends of the Universe Starcore. Oh, there's a fan game. I haven't heard of that one. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's see if I can no damage this guy. Probably not. He's kind of a... This is Dive Man. He's a bit of a bully. And he kills you. People say that Shovel Knight is like Mega Man. It's like Mega Man in the sense that you have kind of like 8 robot masters with the bosses, but I feel like it's different enough that... Oops. So on this phase, you kind of want to just shoot his missiles, and I didn't do that because I wasn't paying attention. There. I'm being a little bit more cooperative this time around. So bosses in general, you kind of want to use your charge shot just because they have invincibility frames, so that's the way to get the most damage in the shortest amount of time in most cases. Plus you have to spend a lot of time dodging anyway. His weakness is actually Skull Barrier, and that is a terrible weakness to use on him because his tactic is ramming into you, and having a shield weapon on that boss is not the best. So I have one more shot on this. I might rewind just to save time if I fail this. But I'm going to buckle down and try and focus and actually get this right. So the best time to counterattack is when he's firing his missiles, as you can see. Oops. So you want him to fire his missiles as much as he can. I like to try and get as much distance before he does his charge because I think it's easier to dodge that way, so that's why I kind of slide. There we go. Get good time. And we're going to go ahead and jump into the next stage and kill ourselves so we can get our lives back, just in case I die some more. All right, once you get Dive Missile and you have Rain Flush, you have quite a few different choices to go to. I personally like to go to Drill Man next because he gives you the Rush Jet, and that is helpful on Brightman stage. So we're going to go ahead and go to Drill Man. Drill Man is actually Toadman's weakness, but I personally think it actually makes the boss harder because it gives him more opportunity to actually pull off his Rain Flush compared to just shooting him in the face with your Buster whenever he moves. Alright, we're just going to kill ourselves here. Let's see if we can find some spikes. I think there might be. I should have gone to a different level to do this. These guys deal a lot of damage. I keep wanting to call these things Jump Pigs. I think that's a Pokemon. So on the subject of Mega Man 4, it is maybe the most polished of the classic Mega Man series, the original NES 6-game saga. And that's one of the reasons why it's arguably the best in the entire series. My personal favorite is Mega Man 9, and if we do another one of these Mega Man streams, that is the game that I would like to play. See what I mean? Just better to just rapid fire them. As far as the implementation of the Charge Shot goes, I think it's the best in the series because the weapons in this game are actually very strong. It is maybe the third strongest in the entire series, in my opinion. And so in spite of having the Charge Shot, I don't feel like the Charge Shot made the weapons made them completely obsolete in this one, even though that's the biggest argument that people make against the Charge Shot. Mega Man 2 is often argued as the best one. I held that opinion until Mega Man 9 came out, and I'll explain why as we play through this game. The biggest problem I have with Mega Man 4, biggest criticism I have against it, which is admittedly more of a nitpick, is I feel like the levels are very safe. Like, the levels have gimmicks, but I don't feel like they're pronounced. And as much as people hate Quickman and Heatman, their levels are extraordinarily memorable. And for subsequent playthroughs, I feel like it's more fun. So let's go ahead and see Toadman's weapon here, just because I hate these things. I probably should be using the Robot Master weapons a little bit more. No, I did not play Mighty Number 9. So, before I started reviewing games, and was just playing games on my own, I avoided a lot of games because of the reviews. Like, for instance, right now I'm playing Metroid Other M, which is one that I avoided because I had heard so many bad things about it. I feel like doing what I'm doing now, though, I kind of have to see it for myself. Shovelware Knight. So these things are a pain in the neck. I hate these things. And the best way to get through them is to shoot them as they come down. Yeah, it's basically Holy Rain. Other reasons why Mega Man is a good case study in 2D platforming, they have a lot of different weapon varieties that you can use to get ideas for. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with doing that, copying like, you know, a single weapon from Mega Man and trying to base an entire game around it. So these switches are really interesting. You might think they're like a light switch, but if you jump down before you flip the switch, you will fall into the abyss. So, whoops! Oh, I actually made that. I thought that was going to be a fail. No, come on. All right, we're gonna have to die. All right, we're gonna try this Buster only, and then we'll use his weakness if I die. I think there's been some great games where somebody plays something like Shovel Knight. You count to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you just kind of move out of the way. It's actually the best time to counterattack him. It's like cooking a grenade, you just have to wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is probably a little bit early, but I also don't like to cut it too close. But I found that going crazy in the room is not the best way to do this. You just kind of have to be patient and let him do his thing. And he is being very cooperative. Normally he like actually shoots at you. And I don't know what's going on right now. Yep, just keep doing that drill, man. That's cool. We'll just no damage buster only this. Oh, there we go. Now he's gonna kill me. He's actually really kind of a rough boss when he's actually shooting at you because his missiles actually... Whoa! That was close. So much for no damage buster only. As you can see, he can do a lot of damage to you really quickly when he's actually firing at you. We'll show you his weakness when we actually go through the second time we fight him. I like that. So no, I didn't play that Mighty number 9 because I had heard everything terrible about it. You got Rush Jet Adapter. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you've watched my stream of Mega Man 2, but the items in this game have been replaced by a dog. So, my favorite place to go next is Brightman. Once you're equipped with his weakness, and you're equipped with his with Rush Jet, makes the stage very easy. I do need to play Abilities Quest. I heard that game's really hard. So the gimmick in this level is the lights. And this is an example of a good gimmick. I think that this is one of the stronger stages in Mega Man 4. It's a very memorable gimmick, I think. So you don't want to shoot those lights unless you want to deal with the problem of not being able to see. I heard it was like Mega Man. It's been on my wish list for a while. There's another game called Rosencrustalette, which is basically Mega Man with Moe. Sort of like Mega Mari. It's pretty fun. I bought it and played it and didn't finish it. More because I'm busy and less because it was a bad game or anything. Alright, this is another example of when Charge Shot is actually useful, because those guys normally take 2 hits to kill, so unless you're really good at accuracy, you're generally better off just wiping them out and failing to wipe them out. But you can always jump over it like that. Down here is just a E-Tank. I'm not going to get it. Well, fine, we'll go see it. Oh, there's a life here too. Okay, I guess that was worth it. But getting back, a little tricky. You have to actually have, I think that's probably why they give you a life. I don't want to waste my Rush Jet energy here because I'm going to use it later. We're going to use Rush Coil. You have to kind of jump as soon as you get there. Whoa. Anyway, little side path. So this game's a Metroidvania, I had to backtrack there. Alright. I actually think I'm going to do a Robot Nun fight on stream at some point. I think that's a perfect game for a break like this, where you do kind of a one game stream. Don't need that. I'm gonna kill you anyway. Alright, so this part is a little bit tricky, but if you have Rush Jet, you can kind of cheese it. And let's see if I can do it without, like, screwing it up. Whoop! Screw up number 1. Get out of here. Okay, we're gonna do this right. The thing you don't want is to do that. Oh gosh. I don't remember where the checkpoint is. Ah, it's right here. We had the rewind button, and I could be using it, but that seems lame, so I'm not going to. We also have a button for rapid fire. Oh gosh. Here, I'll demonstrate it right now. There. I want that, but it's not worth it. So I did a little practice run last week, just to see how long this would take me. just because I knew we were tight on time this morning. And that went a lot smoother in my practice. Alright, so we really want to start right here. So we're going to start right here. If I do it right, then he shouldn't scroll onto the screen until... Oh, okay, that's good. I think getting hit with Rush Jet makes you pop... a Rush Jet pop back underneath you, so I think you're pretty safe getting hit with Rush Jet. So knowing this platforming section is a little bit challenging. I'll just turn off the lights, we don't need the lights. Because the only obstacles here are the platforms themselves. As you saw in my wonderful death. So Brightman is probably one of the most interesting Robot Masters in the entire canon. We're gonna go ahead and try and Buster Only him first, and then let myself die. Oh, we got 2 lives? Okay, we can do this. So his trick is that he stops time by doing the flash thing. So I watched this guy who does no damage Buster Only runs. His name's Mithral. I highly recommend his channel. And this was one of the bosses he gave a 10 out of 10 because of how difficult he is. So the trick behind him is that he stops time like that, and then you're pretty much dead. And if you're trying to do this no damage, that is a nightmare. But his AI is designed so that he does his time stop at specific HP breakpoints. So when he hits 12 HP lost, then he stops time. When he hits 16, it stops time. So in increments of 4, and guess how much damage Toad Rain does? I think it does 4 damage. So if you use his weakness on him, he is guaranteed to stop time at some point during the fight. So when you come into the arena, you're going to want to hit him once and then start using his weakness. And that is how you beat him with only 4 HP left. Yeah, it's true. Brightman is kind of a pain in the neck regardless of how good you are. As far as doing it no damage is concerned, he's not a big deal if you have his weakness, as you saw. Although I was kind of sloppy during that fight. It's going to be a problem during the rematch phase. This is Pharaoh Man stage. I don't really like this stage. But I think desert levels in general are just bothersome to me, and maybe it's because I live in a desert. What do you mean as far as... The dog is really just a glorified utility for... that replaces like item 2 and item 1 from the original from Mega Man 2. Alright, so here's another interesting design choice in Mega Man 4. If you bridge this gap, then you get a nice little secret area back here. And Rush Jet does not cross over screens. I probably should use Rain Flesh or Dive Missile to get rid of that guy. I think I put it in the Discord, so it's not like a secret or anything. Alright, here we are, and we just got the balloon adapter, and I just realized that I grabbed the wire adapter without showing you what it was. I think I used it in the last level. So let me show you the 2 items. These are the 2 secret items that you can get in Mega Man 4. It makes the game a lot easier later on. This is the wire adapter. I really like this item. It's kind of neat. So you kind of want to put your back to the place you want to actually get to so you can jump over. It's not the right button. I don't know why I push select. This is the balloon adapter, which is basically just item 1. And this thing can actually kill you. Watch this. Oh, no, wait. Oh, it's not doing it. Anyway, if you hit the ceiling, then it can actually squish you. Alright, this part we want to use the dive missile because everything here is basically weak to it, except for that, the bats. doing very well if I was attempting a no damage run here. Kind of want to jump as soon as their eyes open up. Here, these dumb bats. For some reason I thought there were mummies in this room. In Mega Man 6, the rush adapter was changed to be kind of a interesting like fusion between Mega Man and the dog. So as I was mentioning about Mega Man 4's levels being a little bit bland from a thematic standpoint, this is basically the same challenge that we had in Brightman stage, where you have to ride something across spikes. And there's nothing there that says this has to be in an ancient tomb type thing. But it's not bad. It's just, in my opinion, not as interesting as the gimmicks in Mega Man 2. Alright, so you want to kind of do this when he's near the ground. And this is what Pharaoh Man looks like with his weakness. This is the most interesting way to fight this boss, by the way. And if you want to ruin your ears, all right, we're gonna go ahead and let him do his pattern a little bit, so you can see a little bit of why he's kind of a fun boss to fight if you decide to do him legit. But it's just funny to hit him with his weakness. No, that's not why he's my favorite. He's actually a lot of fun to fight if you do him legit. But we're trying to go fast today. Pharaoh Shot. Alright, and from this point you can kind of go wherever you want. I'm just going to go in the boss kill order. Brightman's a great choice at this point if you have Pharaoh Shot. And a lot of the weapons that we have at this point are going to be really helpful as well. So the gimmick on this stage is these platforms that kind of just disappear from underneath you. At the start of the stage, whoop, catch that ladder. At the start of the stage, they kind of disappear from behind you, so you're kind of racing across it. It's really helpful to have something like Rain Flush. Genius. This room is really difficult if you're trying to no damage it because of those bullets, but thanks to Rain Flush, we don't have to worry about that. I'm trying to show just a little bit of what these patterns would be like if you decided to do this with no weapons. A lot of people have interesting opinions about using weapons in Mega Man. A lot of people see it as cheating, and I don't know, they give it to you, so why is it cheating? So this is how you normally have to fight this guy. Kind of a pain. But why do that when you can use your own missiles? See, easy peasy. Yeah, I would say that this is probably the hardest stage in the game. But in Mega Man 4, they really leveled out the difficulty. There is no Quick Man stage in this game, and some people would say that is a plus. I can agree with their sentiment, but disagree with the result. Some people think that you should be able to start with any stage as a beginner and have a good experience with it. Now this boss is dumb the first time you see him because you can just stand back here and as long as you're not... But all the bosses come in twos, as I mentioned. It's now it's a Metroidvania. Those are rings. This is Ring Man. Oh, you mean the buzzsaw on the floor. They're actually called like spark shines or something like that. It's very weird. So here's another thing you can do on these. If you don't want to deal with his missiles, you can use Flash Stopper. This one's easy enough to get, so we're going to go ahead and do it. This little shortcut, or this little extra. And it's Eddie, Flip Top, what you want to call him. And we'll get more. Actually, let's refill Total Flesh. 90% of the time, he gives you a weapon refill, it seems like, so I doubt that that's the actual statistic, but it seems like it happens a lot. These guys you just don't want to get near you at all. So you want to make sure, if you know this is coming, you want to make sure you have a charge shot ready to get him. Oops, that was poorly timed. And he's back. You have to really pay attention to scrolling things back on screen in classic Mega Man. So now it's a change up. Instead of disappearing from behind you, these things now disappear going forward. So you're going to have to prime them and then use the platform as you go. This is another situation where... Oh, that was technical. That surprised they survived that. Alright, this is a situation where I need to get rid of that. And fast. Okay. Alright. I think I can make that jump. You know, I'm going to go ahead and use the balloon adapter just to give it some screen time to make sure. Later Mega Man games let you switch weapons, fast switching. I don't even know if I would call that a save. That was an accident. I should have stayed up on that ladder, and that was what I meant to do, but here we are. 3 frame flushes take care of that thing without having to worry about dealing with its invincibility frames while it's inside its rings. This boss is really easy if you practiced him, and you're going to see what it looks like when you're not practiced against him right now. So Pharaoh Shot is kind of like if the Metal Blade was chargeable. I'll demonstrate it more on the next level. The reason why I didn't demonstrate it here is because I was planning on using it on Pharaoh Man, or on Ring Man. He does a lot of damage, holy crap. Ugh. As you can see, you can kind of shoot at different directions. Yeah, so now you get to see what it looks like to fight Ring Man without any practice. Even though I did practice last week a little bit. Not enough to actually get him. But his pattern is really simple. Like, you stand off to the side here. The problem I have, and why I haven't mastered this, is because I haven't actually sat down and practiced him, is I never know when to shoot. Although I'm probably going to just master it on screen here. As long as you get plenty of distance between him and you, he's actually got, and he just does that over and over again. So that's why he's a fairly easy boss. He is an example of where the stage is much harder than the boss once you actually get practice. Alright, I haven't been reading these, I probably should. You got Ring Boomerang. One of the more useful weapons in the game. And Ring Boomerang is good against Dustman. Just checking the time here. We are doing really good. I think we've been playing for 40 minutes. We're almost done with the 8 Robot Masters. When I did Mega Man 2, I think I did it in 90 minutes. When I did my test run on this, it took me about 2 hours. By the way, this stream is going to be a little bit longer because I would like to not do this in multiple streams, but I want to actually finish the game. So I hope we're okay with that. But you have to go, obviously. I can't keep you here. This is a controversial enemy. The enemy that comes out of the pit and tries to catch you and knock you in. When Mega Man 9 came out, whoops. By the way, just to demonstrate, there isn't anything back here. So if you're searching for secrets, there is nothing to see. Let's see if I can do this on my first try. I did it. The ceiling kind of blocks you there, so... let's use some weapons. Let's use dive missile. Oh, not against this guy. Let's see how many it takes. Not too bad. Alright, we'll see you, Denzo. Thanks for all your help during Environmental Station Alpha. I hope you can join in. Next week we're doing Bon Appetit, and then we're going to go straight into Destroy Space Aliens. I really encourage you to come and see Destroy Space Aliens. I know it doesn't look like an interesting game, but it is, in my opinion, one of the most hidden gems on Steam. So I hope you can tune in for that. We'll see you later, Denzo. That is what I'm really the most excited about doing. Come Slip Top, maybe he'll give me some more dive missile. Oh, I'll take lives. Where am I at on that? Oh gosh, I probably should have killed myself at the beginning of this stage. We'll do that next stage. Destroy Space Aliens is the name of the game. And there's a funny story about that game, and I'll tell the story when I actually get to it. But I didn't think it was worth much either when I saw it. But we will demonstrate that there is a lot of value in Destroy Space Aliens. I am a big fan of that game, so I really hope that you check it out. I think, yeah, I think he's lowered the price a few times. It didn't take off, and in spite of all my efforts. But I mean, look at it. You can see why people weren't really interested. Whoops. So that's the big gimmick of this stage, is these crushing dust things. And that's it for that gimmick. That was a spinning Mithral. We'll see more of those later. Got the jump pig. Does that look like the Pokemon? Why do I keep calling it that? I don't even know. Here's another boss that has a pretty easy pattern. The most annoying thing about this boss is that he has invincibility frames. Oops. Here's an easy pattern. He's another boss where this is actually a good place to start. I think if you wanted to get his power first, because I actually think he's easier with the Mega Buster than he is with his power, because his weakness is Ring Boomerang, which I'll demonstrate in the next level. Whoops. Or if I die, I'll show it to you on this guy. But Ring Boomerang has a limited range, and you kind of want to keep your distance on this boss. So while he's vacuuming, you can't hurt him, which is annoying. I'm never really a fan of invincibility frames during boss fights. I don't think they're completely out of place, but you know, when you play the game multiple times, it's less interesting. Especially if he repeats that pattern over and over and over again, which he sometimes does. You got Dust Crusher. Dust Crusher is basically the fully charged shot. Alright, Skullman is our last guy. And we're gonna go hog wild with the Robot Master Weapons. Because we can. I like to start off with Ferroshot. This is actually, in many ways, my least favorite stage in the game. As you can see, it starts off with a Switchback, which is some of the most boring level design you could ever do. People are going to have different opinions on what they like. A lot of people really like Skullman a lot. But it's a lot of fun to come through here with Ferroshot. And as you can see, Ferroshot can shoot in 6 directions. It is, in my opinion, maybe the most powerful Robot Master Weapon in the game. Alright, we're going to give some more screen time to some of these other weapons. Ring Boomerang's cool because it pierces shields, which makes it really useful on this level as well. One of the many reasons why I like coming here last is having the full arsenal of weapons really helps the stage a lot, I think. We'll get that energy just to top off. So every Mega Man game has a Buster replacement power, and if there was a Buster replacement power in this game, I would say it would be Ring Boomerang. Doesn't use a lot of energy. Flip Top's going to help me refill it. Okay. Just make me a liar, Flip Top. Give me an E-Tank, give me an extra life. Do everything that I said that you don't do. A little side path here, completely optional. Get an E-Tank. If you have the wire adapter, then just take this bottom path. It's the easiest. Let that guy scroll off the screen. And then cheese it out. And take the bottom path to leave. Bon Appetit is another game I really like. That one is going to be interesting. I like it a lot. I feel like it's strongest when you play it blind. So if you want to play it blind, definitely don't watch the stream next week. I want to show you something real quick. Yes, that's next week's stream, is Bon Appetit. So something interesting about Brightman. So normally, actually, I have to demonstrate. Normally the backsides of these guys are invincible. If you use Brightman's power, it makes them vulnerable. I don't know why they decided to do that, but that's how it works. Anything down there, I probably should go get it. I'm not really feeling strongly that I need it, so I'll probably eat those words later. If you don't like making a jump, always cheat. So it'll be interesting to see what people think of that. As I demonstrate next week. I know that one of the guys in the Discord tried it and didn't like it, and I completely understand that. It is very old school. But we'll see that when we get there. So if you don't have a fully charged shot, these guys do not die. Whoops. One nice thing about Mega Man 4 and its charged shots is that when you take damage, it doesn't affect your charged shot. Alright, and here is Skull Man. He is the obligatory shield boss of the game. Just gonna take a drink of water here. This boss does not act until you do, which is kind of funny. His weakness is Dust Crusher, so we're gonna get the screen time for that right now. Whoops. Dust Crusher, as I mentioned, it's basically like you have that little spring. Oop. I'm probably gonna die. Yeah. Come on. So close. Anyway, as you see, it just shoots this big bullet, and it kind of splits off. The split off doesn't really seem like it's ever useful. I don't know if you guys can see my Steam pop-ups there. Alright, we'll start him off. When he's shooting, that's the best time to counterattack. Whenever he does his shield, he'll always run towards you, and I think he'll run directly to your position every time, so you, or maybe right before his position. Obviously, I'm not as practiced on this as I could be. How many lives do I have left? We'll go ahead and use an E-Tank if I probably should use it now. Just to avoid having to do this again, and then we'll kill ourselves on the Dr. Cossack stage of number 1. E-Tanks are, of course, the ultimate cheat device for players who are struggling. And we get Skullman's power, which is, in my opinion, the worst power in the game. You got Skull Barrier. So after Mega Man 2, you had the Wood Shield, or the Leaf Shield. This is Dr. Cossack's castle. That's right, we are not fighting Dr. Wily in this game. We are fighting some other doctor who has really cool level music. In my opinion. We're gonna go ahead and kill ourselves. There's a little E-tank hidden in the corner over there. I think there's a pit up here, so that's the fastest. So these levels are extra hard compared to other Wily stages because there's only one checkpoint in them, and it's in the middle of the stage. So when you get to the boss at the end, you have to do half the stage every time you do it. So even though I just killed myself there to get extra lives, we kind of don't want to die during this whole thing. I know that's true of at least the second half of the castle stages. And we actually get an extra E-tank doing that as well, so that worked out. So it's like I got that Skullman E-tank anyway, although I did use one during Skullman, which wasn't intended, but it's okay. With any luck, we'll still have 9 E-tanks by the time we get to the final boss, or at least the boss rush, which is probably when I'm going to use them all. So these are the Slinkies of Death. If you're a mad scientist, this is highly recommended, because turning a harmless children's toy into a deadly weapon is a great way to demoralize your hero, especially if they have fond memories and nostalgia for that. These guys, as I mentioned, as soon as they get close to you, they become invincible and they're kind of a pain in the neck. Just don't deal with them. So here's a fun fact. If you switch weapons while you have a charge shot, and play your stage, and then switch back to the Mega Buster, you still have your charge shot fully charged. Something to keep in mind in case it ever comes up. Alright, so this is the one and only time that Skull Barrier is useful. It's for these dumb up and down enemies, and it's interesting that they just kind of disappear. There's no explosion for some reason. I should have charged a charge shot before I got here. He can't aim anyway. Anyway, Skull Barrier disappears the minute you get anything that touches it, so it's just not really that great. Except in that one situation. And that is how the shield powers end up being for the entire Mega Man series until Mega Man 9, and then it became way overpowered. Overcompensating! But we'll talk about that if we ever do Mega Man 9. Little tricky platforming there. So those guys were taken directly out of Castlevania. Yes, actually. Interestingly enough, I always say that I don't think that story matters in action games as much, but I end up learning the story quite a bit. So this is really interesting. This part right here is just much easier with the balloon adapter, but it's an optional item. So if you don't have it, I guess you have to use Rush Jet to make your way through that. The jump big up there. All right, lure this guy down. Up, have another energy refill. So Mega Man lore, what do you want to know about the Mega Man lore? Most Mega Man lore is Dr. Wily is bad. If you're talking about classic Mega Man, if you're talking about like the whole series, like from Mega Man X, I probably don't know it as well as some fans might, but I will say that I am a fan. So Mega Man 3, he was definitely a rival. There really isn't a Proto Man in this game, except for Proto Man does show up. He just doesn't act as a rival. It's interesting that Proto Man was kind of depicted as this mysterious enigma initially, and then I guess they removed the Enigma from him, and so they invented Bass to be Mega Man's actual rival. Yeah, no, there's not really a rival in this game, unless you count all the Robot Masters. So Dr. Cossack apparently has a butterfly, a love for butterflies, and this is basically how all of his boss or castle stage bosses are. They all fire bullets at you with track in 1.5 second increments or so. And, you know, once you understand that, you can lead the shots really easily and take them out pretty quick. To be fair, I don't think that I think that the Doctor stage bosses in the Mega Man series are probably the weakest bosses in the entire, like, just in general. I feel like the Robot Masters are just much better. For some reason I thought there were some refills in this room, I guess not. I'm a little sad that Jake couldn't be here today, because I think he'd have some fun with this. And the fortress stages, you kind of have to keep track of your weapon energy. I wasn't expecting that to drop. So interesting thing about the wire adapter, you can use it as a weapon, just not very applicable most of the time. It's easiest when I have people talking to me, I think. Helps me keep the conversation going. I just think it's more interesting to have people to bounce off of. I can't believe I just did that. When you are playing live, yeah, when you're playing live, you're always going to do something embarrassing. I really admire speedrunners. I think that they are, like, there are people that get jealous of people who get paid for doing video games, but I think that speedrunners definitely deserve everything they're being paid. Say things like, get a real job or whatever, but I think that that's... I think that there is a lot of work that goes into that. And if you're entertained by it, then they're definitely doing something valuable. Oh, was there? Nice. Did you end up catching it? These are interesting little platforms. They're kind of like the Yoku blocks, except you can see them all the time. That's something that hasn't shown up yet. I think Yoku blocks show up later, but... Oh, wow. For Environmental Station Alpha or just games in general? I know that some speedrunners, like, will grind out a game for, like, an entire day. I gotcha. Well, it's not really worth it. I have to use wire adapter to get back, so... Can I do it? Okay, I did it. Oh, wow, that worked out. Well, that's good timing, then. How fast did they do it, just out of curiosity? 25 minutes, whew. I think it took us 3 hours? Granted, like, half an hour of that was just grinding out... You know, an hour and a half of that was just grinding out different bosses. Did they do the full thing, or did they just go to the virus? I'm impressed that people can get through Environmental Station Alpha in only 25 minutes. They just glitched the whole thing. Of course they do. Honestly, though, that is an interesting topic of... Okay. I did this on my practice run, too. And I just need to learn. You gotta lure this guy. Oh. I think there's a little bit of controversy. At this point, it's like, why would I even bother getting the E-Tank? Because Okay, so he clamps down no matter what after a certain point. There we go. Okay. There's a little bit of controversy on whether or not glitches make the game less interesting to watch. And I think that's fine. There's such a thing as glitchless runs, so... Drill bomb doesn't really do a lot of take a lot of energy, I just noticed. At least as far as weapons that blow up walls go. Alright. So this is what I was saying, that these optional movement upgrades. Oh, it's really impressive. Some of the glitches that they pull off take a lot of talent just to do. Alright, I think this is my least favorite boss in the entire game, and I'm probably going to use the rewind tool on this just to not have to spend an hour on this. If I mess this up, hopefully I don't. This is my least favorite boss in the entire Mega Man series. I'm sure that somebody will remind me of a boss that's probably worse, but it's just a waiting game. A very slow and tedious waiting game. The opening... I always trade hits with him too. Oh, I actually got 2 shots off on that. I feel like I had just started a thought and didn't complete it. Yeah, purple square, the boss. You fight the entire room. Every Mega Man game has kind of an analog to the Yellow Devil, which we did not see because I did not stream any of the games that have them. But Mega Man 2 has a boss where you kind of have to fight the walls. And this is kind of like that boss. This is the obligatory fight the room boss. But yeah, this part, I don't even think you can, like if you stand completely still, you might get hit. But obviously it's completely invincible during this phase. And then, like, sometimes if you miss, then you have to wait through the entire phase. Ugh. I don't know. It's just really tedious boss. That challenge runner that does the no damage runs, I think it literally takes him 10 minutes to get through this terrible, terrible boss. Okay, at least I got 2 that time. One of the many reasons why I don't necessarily consider Mega Man 4 the best in the series. But, you know, it's not like I give Boy Beam a pass in Mega Man 2. I can completely understand if you think that boss completely ruins that game. Just like everything, I think that there's no such thing as a bad mechanic, just bad implementation. There are bosses that do kind of like a bullet hell section in the middle of the boss fight, and those can be really fun. I think the frustrating thing is when it's not challenging to get through the invincibility part. This is a scrolling stage, which is not very common in Mega Man. And there are some people that think that scrolling stages are the devil and should never be in any game ever. And it has the same problem as invincibility frames during boss fights. It's basically like the invincibility frame of the platforming section. There's just a lot of waiting. I'm just gonna rewind that. We're gonna call this. Call a mulligan on that. For the exact reasons that I've been talking about. There's a lot of waiting. So Mega Man 2, you had the first level that had the dragon that was terrible because of graphical glitches, but it was interesting. And then you had kind of the puzzle stage, which was interesting, but in some ways terrible. And then Mega Man 4, it's just kind of safe. And personally, I would rather have terrible than safe, because safe is just kind of boring. And you are perfectly welcome to disagree with me on that point. The spark saws. And even when I play games to review them, that is kind of my bias. That I will take a terrible game on a technical standpoint, or even to some degree a design standpoint, assuming that the design isn't like broken, long before I take a boring game. If a game is functional and safe, to me that is way worse than a game that is glitchy and broken. So the moral of the story is take risks. It's more interesting that way. And you can end up as Cheetah Man and end up in AGDQ every year. This is, if you didn't get here fast enough, then you die. But I barely made it. This is an example of where you could die if you're not careful, but you can grab that. I think this boss's weakness is Pharaoh Shot, so let's go ahead and get that ready. Cool thing about Pharaoh Shot is that you charge the shot over your head, and you can hit them with that shot and then still have a fully charged shot ready. Like this. Another cool thing about Pharaoh Shot is that if you oops. If you kill the enemy... Wow. Alright, we're just gonna call another mulligan on that. That's hilarious. If you happen to kill the enemy with the shot, it does not destroy the shot, so it pierces through, which is really useful. Yeah. This is actually one of the more interesting bosses, I think, in the Fortress stages too, and it's fun to fight when you have the weakness. It's a good combo. The next boss doesn't have any weakness. His weakness, I think, would be the Buster Shot is probably your best option. This one has a split path. I would love to show you both paths, but to be honest, it's personally don't think it's that interesting, but I know some people like to see every facet of a game when they watch a Let's Play. I could do that off camera at some point if somebody's interested. Or do a segment recording. Oops. We're just going to take the optimal path for this playthrough. Very important to keep your weapon energy full when you can. Definitely use weapons. That is the joy of the Mega Man games. I really just don't like dealing with those things, so I just flush them out. Alright, what are we up to? 8 E-Tanks now, I think? Gathering them up. Getting pretty lucky with drops. I mean, technically I cheated, what, twice now? Using the rewind button? Keeping track of it, don't worry. The problem with the drill gun is it's not... you can only have one on the screen at a time. This is actually a little bit tricky. I think if I turn around... Nope. There we go. Probably a balloon adapter probably would have been a better choice for that. You do eventually need to... Oh, was I actually maxed out on E-Tanks? Oh. Alright, well, we're at 9 E-Tanks now, so fun. I think that for me to use the drill bomb more often, I need to know what enemies are actually weak to it. To be honest, the ring boomerang is just a better weapon. Speaking of which, that's actually a good topic, is the strength of the Dust Crusher. Did I just click the wrong button? Look how much energy Dust Crusher uses. It's so expensive. I don't actually think you can kill those things. I think they're invincible. Ring Boomerang is just a better weapon. It does more damage in more situations. And you can... It's on screen. It has more active damage frames. Whoops. Definitely be careful when you use the wire adapter. I'm actually going to have to use this to refill my wire adapter. To be honest, I probably don't even need this at all. But we're going to get it anyway, after using just that much energy to actually get the item. And this boss. I can't say I'm a huge fan. For some reason, they decided to make Dr. Cossack be... Oh, do you not move until I move? There we go. For some reason, they decided to make Dr. Cossack into a crane machine for some reason. So his weakness is that every time you slide, he freezes. So you can kind of use that to your advantage. Whoops. If you actually get grabbed by him, he does a ton of damage to you, but as long as you're sliding, he can't really hurt you. Oh, somehow I managed to kill him. It didn't look like I actually hit him that last time. Please, Mega Man, don't! My father's not really evil. Dr. Wily took me hostage and forced my father to fight you. Please, Mega Man, don't hurt my father anymore. Oh, Kalinka. Father! Mega Man, forgive me. You betrayed me, Proto Man. I'm going to break you, Mega Man. Yep, there's the one instance of Proto Man in this game. It was Dr. Wily all along. Who could have guessed? Wiggling eyebrows. His trademark. And Dr. Wily has a nice snowbound castle for us to visit. It's not terribly long. Alright, we are just about the point where we would normally end the stream, but we're going to keep going because we only have 4 or 5 levels left, so. This level is the Mithral Museum. They put all of the different Mithrals that they had created for this game, and I think it might be the only... I can't remember, in Dive Band Stage. So remember I said there was a spinning Mithral? And that we'd see more later? This is what I meant. This is the more later right now. Oh gosh, I should probably use the Ring Boomerang. Go ahead and switch that. Oh. Okay, don't do that. Oh, I thought that the hitbox on that was taller. Guess not. So the trick behind the spinning Mithrals is that they take 3 hits to kill, I think. So that's really the big danger behind them. But if you're using Ring Boomerang, kind of kill them a little bit faster. Apparently not as fast as I thought. We'll go ahead and just skip this one. Whoops. Ooh, got him on the back track on that. Alright, we're gonna kind of want to save Ring Man's weapon. I don't remember if this boss has a weakness. We'll probably just use the Mega Buster on him. They always put spikes in the ceiling in these water sections to really test your ability to let go of the jump button. It's a little nerve-wracking. Since when you're underwater, you kind of jump up. So, use for the drill bomb. Interesting fact about the drill bomb, you can kind of detonate it in midair. Very good for getting rid of buzzsaws. And wire adapters are very good for skipping Yoku block sections. And I'm probably going to screw this up, but we're going to do it anyway. Go. Oh, I did it. No Yoku block section for you. Alright, what do we got? Drill bomb. I don't even know why I'm refilling that. Toban's weakness. We don't need Toban's weakness. And they put an underwater section just to have Mets. As long as we're here, we might as well refill our energy since we can't keep that anyway. Free E-Tank. Plenty of E-Tanks in this game if you know where to find them. Alright, and then the final exhibit in the Mithral Museum. If you ever have like a hard time coming up with an idea for a boss, always just make a big version of your other enemies. By the way, don't do this, it's kind of lame. In my opinion. Whoops. Yeah, Mithrals are neat, I like them. Oh, dang. I'm gonna use an E-Tank on this boss because we can. And I'm not very good on this boss. I had the same problem in my little practice run too. Whoops. And we're gonna get hit in the head. If I can get to the menu. I don't think this boss has a weakness either. I think you have to use the Mega Buster to get the most damage out of him. Come on. And he has iframes, of course. Oh gosh. Are we gonna use 2 E-Tanks on this boss? Gosh. I'm sure there's more in the next levels. If you like Metals, then this is the level for you. They actually had giant Metals in Mega Man 3. So this is kind of a repeat of that. And off we go. Gotta love Dr. Wily. He's really good with branding. He's got that W, he just puts it on everything. It's like, this is my hidden secret castle. Put the W on it. Alright, let's see. One of my weaknesses is that I am very impatient with ladders, so I'll just drop down them all the time. That gets me in trouble sometimes. We're going to go ahead and get that E-Tank just because I wasted so many on the last fight. If you have nothing against using E-Tanks, then we're going to let that one go. I'm not going to mulligan that one. We're going to let that one be seen by all mankind. I get very impatient on ladders. I do it in Dark Souls as well, which is very dangerous. I think this is the path you want to take. I could be wrong. This is the bug path. It's a little bit easier than that buzzsaw. Not that you can't just use the drill bomb to get rid of that buzzsaw. Do I need to make this jump? Yes, I do. Let's go ahead and just get rid of this thing. Yeah, well, I mean, I could get it twice if they let me, but once you get a power-up that's been put into the stage, it disappears permanently most of the time. Sometimes they make it respawn. That's generally true when... what do I need the most? Let's get Toad Flesh. I'm a little bit worried about that one. Was that another E-Tank? Oh. Flip Top, you're just totally being the nice guy this time around. Sometimes if they have like a puzzle that requires you to have energy, they'll make the energy respawn, but Mega Man 1 didn't have this trait, so there's actually an infamous point in Fireman stage. Oh, I definitely want to have the dive missile ready on this part. Dive missile's great for these guys because it kills in one hit. The problem with dive missile is it's kind of stupid on its tracking and likes to circle people instead of actually hitting the target. I'm gonna go ahead and let that little energy go. Anyway, there's a part in Mega Man 1 that you can get a 1-up, and then you can scroll it off the screen, and then scroll it back on, and then have infinite 1-ups if you so desire to grind. Generally, if the solution is grinding, I usually say no thanks. That was the optimal path. Take the left ladder on that part. Oh, I hate these things so much. Rain Flush. That's why I hate them. Alright, and then you have the Candy Machine of Death. I don't remember what the weakness is on this boss either. Let's see if I can remember it. I think it might be Ring Boomerang. A lot of these bosses, the answer is Ring Boomerang. Don't. Thank goodness for iframes. Alright, here we go. Now, as I mentioned, if you die, then you have to do half the level, because that's how they programmed it. So we'll probably use E-Tanks if I screw this up. So they have these little platforms. Ring Boomerang is his weakness and has a range issue. But you can just kind of stand right there and then miss, and then hit and... There we go. I think he always shoots threes on that part, so I should probably dodge all three before trying to attack him again. Alright, this is not a bad boss. Oops, 1, 2... Nope. It's apparently random. I probably should screw around with his platforms, because apparently that's an easier way to... I'm gonna mulligan that. I was actually thinking I should use an E-Tank. Alright, 3 times. Whoops. Apparently this boss is my weakness. Yeah, I know, seriously. Well, technically the Slinky was Dr. Cossack. I think that's its literal name. I think it's named after a vending machine or something. I don't remember what the name is. Alright. Time to go and face off with the Skull. This is why I never feel bad about using E-Tanks. This music's really cool. Some might say it's the best Dr. Wily Fortress stage music in the entire series. Especially if you're tired of hearing that Mega Man 2's Wily stage music is the best in the series. Tank through because you get a freebie. Let's go ahead and refill. No, I don't want to refill. Ring Boomerang. And let's get this Crusher filled up. And Dive Missile. The Mega Man series, the classic series, has always been kind of cutesy. So, I mean, you have these little things with eyeballs and things like that. I don't think it got really, like even Mega Man X is more like teenage anime. And this is the room of lag, I think? No, that's not this room. Maybe I'm thinking of a different Mega Man game. There's a room that has like 10 different item pickups in it, and when you walk into the room you lag because of the NES's limitations. And it's the boss rush time, and if I knew exactly which bosses were in each tank, I would do this more optimally, but I don't remember, so we're just going to kind of pick them random. We already know how this fight goes. I always want to hit him when he's on the ground, because if you hit him in the air, you can't really spam your shots. But I keep spamming that, because he's going to pull off that shot if I'm not careful. Now I've got your power. Really wish I had done him later in the grouping. We're just gonna keep going. Oh, Ringman. Okay. I'm really glad that I'm on Brightman's weapon right now. Okay. What? Oh no, they never do. Whoops. No, this is basically your opportunity to try all the boss weaknesses if you didn't get that the first time you played. I don't know. Some people really hate the boss rematches. I think they're cool. I think they're fine. And we use way too much Pharaoh Shot on that because we need that later. I think the final boss... do not like that vacuum attack. It's such a pain. So there's another boss that does the same thing in Mega Man 9, except that he doesn't have iframes during it, so you can kind of layer in shots as you're running away, like do this. Much more fun, in my opinion. Like, you're already being sucked towards him, so there is a danger in facing at him. But I guess they decided that he was too easy if they didn't make him invincible during that? I don't know. I don't know what the logic was behind that. Sometimes I wonder if they even thought that far ahead, because, I mean, look at this guy. Oops. Come on. Don't make me a liar. There we go. Just for fun, we'll go ahead and use his weakness. It also goes a little faster. So in case you ever needed help with Toad Man. And Dive Man. We'll try and use his weakness on him just because it's not useful anywhere else, so... But, as I mentioned, it's a barrier and he rams you, so you kind of have to, like, jump. And then, like, the missiles eat the shield, so you kind of have to waste a ton of energy during the fight. I just personally think it's easier to do just use the Mega Buster, although that did go a lot faster than the first time I fought him, so I guess I'm just going to eat my words on that. I'm going to guess it is Skull Man. I'm right. Wow. I actually did not know that ahead of time. But I had a 33% chance of being right, so... We'll go ahead and let that one slide. Okay. Oops. Good. I don't want to kill him while I'm standing in the teleporter, because then I'll miss out on his life refill. Alright, that went way better than the first couple times I fought him. But anyway, this boss rematch thing is so short, in my opinion. Didn't really need to use Dust Crusher there, but I don't feel like switching my weapons twice. Because as I mentioned, you always want to hit him at least once before you start using his weakness on him. You know, if you keep jumping, that is exactly what I want you to do. That is way better than you firing your gun. You're being very cooperative. Maybe it's because of my inputs? A lot of times that's what they do, is react to what you press. But you can exploit quite a few bosses with that. Let's go ahead and start this battle with a weapon with no energy. Oh, I'm actually a little disappointed. I can't show you the... darn, I should have done that differently, but whatever. You can actually kill Dr. Wily, but it soft locks your game. I'll put a link in the video, or in the Discord. Okay, I wasn't counting to 5. So this is what Drill Man looks like when you have his weakness. The advantage of having his weakness is you can shoot over his shots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. Probably still gonna have to use an E-Tank on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops. One more. Come on. Oh, come on. I'm mulligan that. Okay, we'll just let that happen. Wow. We're gonna have to rewind just because we glitched the game. I don't want a soft lock here. Okay. Did you see that? That's funny. Oh, so the missile was midair. He landed on me, and I got his energy refill. But because I was dead, the game was soft locked. That's funny. All right. Alright, this is Dr. Wily, phase 1 of 3, and this phase is a complete pushover. Because you can just stand right here, and, oops, maybe you can't. I'm thinking of the second phase. He does. I think his first phase is Ring Boomerang. How am I doing on lives? Got one left. Yeah, that's cool. It's actually a good spot to be at because I think I have to reset anyway. My energy. Yeah, so his first phase, Ring Boomerang does more damage, so... This is actually normally really easy, I'm just really eating it up for some reason. I guess it's just I'm being patient. Oops. Mega Man Legacy Collection comes with some challenges, and one of them is beating this boss without taking damage, and I've done it before, so... And this one you kind of have to hit higher than your hitbox is allowed, and this is the one where you can stand underneath him and not have any issues. I think the best way to hurt this guy is to use charge shots. As you can see, he kind of has a pain in the neck firing pattern. But you can have plenty of time to charge up, and you can lead his shot. We're going to use an E-Tank if I get hit again. Not like I don't have a ton of them. Let's go ahead and try Ring Boomerang just to try it. I don't think you can even hit him. Yeah, I think that this guy's weakness is Drill Bomb. The problem is actually hitting him with it because you have to detonate it right before. Otherwise it just bounces off like that. Anyway, in terms of Wily bosses, I don't think this one's a great one. But I think it's better than Mega Man 2's Wily boss, because Mega Man 2's Wily boss was literally unfair. So on this part right here, if you have any Rain Flush left, you can use it right here, and it blows up Dr. Wily's pod. Which I will link in the Discord. I should have thought that before I killed Brightman. I could have showed that off, but it's okay. It's all over YouTube. It's really easy to get a screen or a video of it. No, it's not on purpose. It's definitely a bug. No freebies. Come on, give me some freebies. I think you literally have to have Pharaoh Shot during this part. So this is reminiscent of Mega Man 2, where leading up to the actual final boss, you had a stage of things that drop from the ceiling. I don't want to grind, so we're just going to go ahead and just get ourselves killed, I guess. I think that his only weakness is Pharaoh Shot. So this is the amazing Wily capsule. You can only hit him with Pharaoh Shot, so we're going to go ahead and let ourselves get killed here. Just so we can get our energy back. Because I only have half Pharaoh Shot, and I don't think that's enough to beat him. If we're lucky with those caterpillars at the beginning, I might be able to get some energy refills on our way back. In which case I'll give him a shot, but not much point in fighting him if I can't finish him off. I think in later Mega Man games they kind of dropped the whole Wily's only weak against one weapon thing, which I think it's an improvement. It's annoying when you get to this point and you're like me and you use the boss weakness against the boss that's weak against it and can't do anything about it. He might be weak against some other things. Let's go ahead and try some stuff. Let's go ahead and try Ring Boomerang. If I can find him. This boss was literally made for Pharaoh Shot. Oh, I mean, you can kill him with Ring Boomerang, I guess. It only does 1 damage, and you can't hit him half the time. Yep, like when he's down there. Can you hit him with Rain Flush? Oh wait, we don't have Rain Flush. We already talked about that. Let's try Dive Missile. Doesn't even track him. Dust Crusher. I need to stop dodging, because I'm supposed to be getting myself killed through the Mega Man dance. Oop, he's like literally right in front of me. Doesn't matter. We're gonna get our Pharaoh Shot back. Alright, I'm gonna do something that's probably dumb. But I'm curious. I want to see if Skull Barrier actually protects against these worms. Oops. Nope. Well, that was dumb. now I'm going in here without full HP. Now you guys drop weapon energy. What's up with that? Right. Pharaoh Shot is his weakness. How many times did I cheat this game? 3 times? 4 times? Am I up to 4? I think I might be up to 4. Oh, don't miss. There we go. Okay, we got plenty of eating, so I'm not too worried. Whoops. This is also not a very difficult boss. Okay, that was totally... It technically is a feature in this version of Mega Man, so if you feel like it, if you feel like you need it, then they give it to you. So I don't see any reason why you should feel bad about that. But you know, if you want the original experience, then not doing that is the way to go. Beg for mercy. Why doesn't Mega Man just kill him? End it all. Well, I did use one E-Tank, so... Danger! I have to really admire Dr. Wily. That he set his castle up to explode in a perfect pattern. The Skull Mushroom Cloud. That's how I would set my castle level up too. Also, why is it that these evil villains set their homes to explode when they get defeated? What, like, what is the logic behind that? I guess if they had like secret technology they didn't want people finding out about, or like you put all of your journals in there that has all of your future evil plans, that makes sense, I guess. Just kind of something kind of funny that always happens in these games. Mother Brain kind of makes sense, since she's kind of in a jar, and you might argue that she's literally powering the entire location. You know, and maybe Mega Man flips the switch, but it always seems like Mega Man's just trying to get out whenever he defeats Dr. Wily. So this is another part that's reminiscent of Mega Man 2, where you're kind of riding along with the somber music playing as you travel back home. I personally kind of like this quiet, somber moment after beating the boss. And the music kind of has a like railroad tracks. Keto-chan, Mr. Frog. And then there's the family. Perfect screen, or perfect photo opportunity. I like how there's a train that runs straight from Dr. Wily's castle to his house. Yoshitaka Enomoto. Yoshitaka. And then Atsushi Otsuka. If that was the programmer, they probably should have done a little bit more playtesting on that one. A little remix of Mega Man 2's theme song. Hiromi Uchida. So which one is my favorite boss out of the bunch? I said Pharaoh Man. Which one was my favorite music out of the bunch? We went through all those stages. To be honest, I like all Mega Man music. There isn't a song in this game that really sticks out except in the Wily stages. Like, I really like this ending theme. I love Dr. Cossack's. I like both the themes of Dr. Cossack's castle. And then that final Dr. Wily music is really cool. It's always fun to try and read the Japanese names as a complete American trying to do it. Hitoshi Takeshima. Shima. You can't say C in Japanese. That's Takeshima. They did not put that in Romanji. Very well. So, how do we do? It looks like we actually managed to pull that off in a little bit over 90 minutes. So if we hadn't started off with Environmental Station Alpha, this would have taken up the normal stream time. So not too bad. I don't know how fast the fastest speedrun is on this. I'm going to guess about 25 minutes. There are probably glitches in this game that I don't know about. But like many Capcom games back in the day, I don't think you can get off this screen without just quitting out. So thank you very much for joining in on the stream today. And next week, as I mentioned, we're going to do Bon Appetit. The games I have planned out are all hidden gems that I really want to show off and want to give some screen time on the internet. And so I'm really excited to show those to you, and I really hope that you tune in for those. But with that, thank you much. They are around, well, Bon Appetit is going to be a 1 week project. I can beat that game in one hour. But the other, Destroy Space Aliens is going to be at least 2 weeks, not maybe 3, and then Vision Soft Reset's going to be about the same. So a lot shorter than Environmental Station Alpha. But thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.